Hello. I'd like to cover the layout blocks on the IDS website builder. This is a foundational element, and once you've grasped how these blocks work, then the development on the site is very simple. These blocks just repeat themselves over and over again. They're just a duplication, and inside these blocks you'll just put in the modules or the elements that you need for the website. But once you understand them, understand how to make sure that they are designed and work dynamically, like you see over here, that they look good on all screen sizes, and how to do that, and how to place blocks within blocks, and how to stack different items horizontally and vertically. Then, as I said, it's a duplication, and then you can just build sites quite simply. Even if you look at the templates that are supplied, you can see how the blocks work, and from there you can just simply make changes. In this particular template that I found, that is called business group under the business section, I found this block that incorporates most of what I want to show you. So as you know, when we select something, we will see it in the structures page, and then you will get the properties also on the right hand side here. And when we do that, we can then see, we can see the structure of how this looks. And I don't know if it works with you, but if I just see a picture, then things just form together easier than just a lot of words. I'm just going to run through this block and how it works and how the blocks fit into each other. And once you understood this particular block, then you can apply it to anything else. Then you've basically got a good understanding. Okay, so we start off with the very outside block, which they've got here as a horizontal layout. Now, a horizontal layout and a vertical layout just means that the contents of that block will be set horizontally or vertically. Here you see if we select there, here we see a horizontal layout. These are blocks that are placed inside a horizontal layout block, and they lay them out, they stack them horizontally. If we stack them vertically, they'll obviously stack on top of each other and not next to each other. In this case, next to each other is what's required. In this case, they've started with a horizontal block, and inside that block they've put another block, and they've made that a vertical block. This horizontal block doesn't have to be vertical or horizontal because it's only got one block inside. You can't stack one block. But when you've got one block, quite often they will use the horizontal layout because of the fact that when you select horizontal, you can align items vertically and horizontally. With a vertical block, you can only align items vertically. This block is set out to fill the site. So if you go to the size here, you'll see it's set to 100%. There's no limitations here. It can go to a maximum of any size, so it will fill your screen, and that is what they want. They want a background that is wide as your screen. But then they've placed a block inside that which they want to limit to 1200, because this particular site, as you see this line, dotted line going down the side here, is the width of the site. These other layouts here, where it goes to the width of the screen, just looks nice. It doesn't have to be that way, but in this case they want that to go the width of the screen, but the contents, they want only a maximum of 1200 pixels. If we took that away, you'll see it will just fill the side. But if we had to go to a smaller screen size, like a desktop, which is typically 992 pixels, as you see there, if I go to 992 pixels, you'll see it will fill it 100%. 100% until it reaches 1200 pixels. So when it reaches 1200 pixels, it sticks on 1200 pixels and won't go any further. And the reason they've done this is to align it so that it aligns with the content of the site. Speaking of alignment, alignment is done from the parent. So whatever is inside the block is aligned by the parent. So to align this block here to center, as we see, must be done in the parent. So if we go to the layout and we go to the alignment and we say let's click align left, you can see it's aligning left and right, and this one is space in between, so it goes to the left and tries to pull it out, but it's got a maximum of 1200. So align to the center. Okay, so it's aligned to the center and it can go to a maximum of 1200, which is what we want. Inside this block we can also see the padding. So the padding is inside of a block and the margin's on the outside. So whatever is orange is a margin and whatever is blue is a padding. So what they've wanted is that they wanted padding on the inside and then they wanted to put some content in. So if we go down to, let's close here, and we go down to spacing, we can see a visual of what we can also do it here. You know, you change whatever you want to do, but you can also do a visual of what's going on there. So they put a horizontal block and then a vertical block, and inside the vertical block they've got some padding. And now what the developer wanted was to, because he's made this a vertical block, you can see that he's wanted to put items to stack vertically. So they've got a heading, and then they've put another block in which they've put 4 smaller blocks. The second block here, the horizontal block in this vertical stack, they've made horizontal, and inside of that they've put 4 blocks, and they wanted these 4 blocks to stack horizontally, as you can see there. We can also swing it to vertical and we can see what it looks like, vertical, horizontal. Okay. You will see usually the inner blocks, let's go to horizontal there, the inner blocks, let's just go to this particular block here and we will see what the size is. You can see here 100%. So the inner blocks, what you will normally do is just make it 100%. You wouldn't necessarily need to make it 1200 because you've got the block above that, that's already 1200, but you can do that. So if you've got a block on a mother block that's sitting at 1200 and you make all the others 100, then it's obviously just going to go as far as 1200. It can't go past that. And then these other 4 blocks are added inside this one, of which they've made them vertical because they've got items inside there. That's what they want stacked vertically. If we swing it around to horizontal, you'll see what happened is as simple as that. You just say, okay, I want the contents to stack vertical or horizontal. And these particular ones, you would normally give them a percentage size. So you see there's 20%. And in doing so, we've got 80% and then the rest is spaces. So what they've done here is that in the horizontal section, and if you look at the layout, you can see what they've done here is to say space around. In other words, distribute these blocks on the inside of this horizontal block, make them 20% each, and whatever space is around there must be the same. So space around. So you don't have to bother with paddings and margins and whatever else. It just aligns itself for space around, which works very well, especially when it comes to the responsivity of the site, so that these it just works dynamically. Now, in this particular case, when you get down to mobile, what we would normally do is to stack vertically, because you will see these ones, for example, here in this instance, we've got 3 blocks there, and in those 3 blocks you will see that's horizontal layout, and I've got them to switch to vertical layout on the phone, on the mobile. So when it comes to mobile, they put them above each other. It makes perfect sense. You wouldn't want them next to each other, because it would be disastrous, as you can see there. So in the case of the demo block here, there they are not stacked vertically. So let's go back to the block that we want to have a look at, these ones. It just says allow items to wrap, but they haven't stacked it vertically when it goes to mobile phone, because if we switch it on there, it'll say phone. If you go tablet here, then tablet and phone will be stacked, and if you go here to desktop, then desktop, tablet and phone will be stacked. There you can see it. In this case, if we do it to phone and we go down to phone, you will see it's stacking vertically. But when these items are so narrow, it looks a bit odd. When they're a bit wider, then it looks nice. So what they've done is they said allow it to wrap, but don't stack vertically on the mobile phone. Wrapping means therefore can fit into each other, next to each other quite nicely, but here it can't, and so it just wraps to the next line. If you take that off, it's going to stop wrapping, and then obviously it looks a bit odd. That's quite an important feature, this switching to vertical on a particular screen size. 90%, 99% would be just stacking it vertically on a mobile phone. The last thing I'd like to show you is just the naming of these particular blocks. Say on the horizontal section, if we go down to advanced here, the very last item where it says name, you can name it anything you want, and you will see the name being there, coming up there. Just good, especially if you come back to a site that you've developed years ago and you want to make a quick change and you just don't know what you've done.